RTX 5080 class SuperPods are now rolling out. We have servers, performance, and requirements coming up. Stay tuned! The future of cloud gaming has arrived. With the NVIDIA Blackwell RTX upgrade, GeForce now brings RTX 5080 class performance to the cloud for the first time. Ultimate members can harness DLSS4 multi-frame generation, cutting-edge AI enhancements, and ultra-low click-to-pixel latency, enabling up to 5K at 120 frames per second for premium, responsive gameplay. Now before we get into the good stuff, let's talk about the games arriving this week first. Get ready for a blast of chaos, color, and fun as Borderlands 4 launches on GeForce Now. The galaxy's wildest looter shooter is back, sending 4 new Vault Hunters on a loot-crazed rampage, jam-packed with quippy dialogue and sci-fi shenanigans, all wrapped in the franchise's signature mayhem. The title lands on the cloud on Thursday, September 11th. Gamers who upgrade to or purchase a 12-month GeForce Now Ultimate membership between now and Tuesday, September 25th will get the title for free, available to play as soon as it launches. In addition, members can look forward to the following: Firefighting Simulator Ignite, a new release on Steam; Professional Fishing 2, a new release on Steam tomorrow; and of course, Borderlands 4, a new release on Steam and the Epic Game Store. Now as of now, it's unclear whether the deal will give you the Steam or Epic Games version. Now on to the good stuff. Here are the locations of where the new 5080 servers will be live first. First up is San Jose, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Newark are live in the US. In the EU, Frankfurt, Germany, and Paris, France will also be going live in this round of 5080 upgrades. GeForce Now Thursdays will spotlight the newest cities with upgraded servers, so make sure to check back to see which cities light up next on the map. They also have a dedicated page with the rollout status, which I'll put in the description. Now for the performance. I'm going to have a lot more videos showcasing performance and features on different games, but I wanted to show you a glimpse of what the new 5080 Blackwell SuperPods can do on some of the most demanding games we have seen in past years. The new 5080 SuperPods are 3 times faster than the PlayStation 5 Pro and 2.8 times faster than the GeForce Now RTX 4080 SuperPods. These upgrades also support new technologies like full ray tracing, ray reconstruction, multi-frame generation, and DLSS4 for up to 5K resolution at 120 FPS, 360 FPS at 1080p, and 240 FPS at 1440p. Also, don't forget cinematic quality streaming for the highest quality visual experience from the cloud. First, we tried old classic, Cyberpunk 2077. We have an old video on the 4080 which include tests on overdrive mode from a few years ago here. 4K Ray Tracing Ultra hit around 120 FPS, and 4K Overdrive mode hit around 80 FPS. The game also wasn't able to be streamed at 240 FPS at 1080p, but with updates from the game and upgrades from the 5080s, everything has changed. The 4K Ray Tracing Ultra preset with 2x frame generation now hits well above 120, close to 160 FPS. But here's the problem: frame caps. I set this to 4x frame generation and the game caps me out at 165 FPS at 4K. Overdrive mode at the same settings caps out at 165 FPS as well. Yes, overdrive mode. Now I'm sure it can go much higher than 165 since 3x frame generation capped out at 165 as well. Now what about 1080p? Well, with the 5080 upgrades, this game can now go over 120 FPS even at 1080p. Actually, 360 FPS is even possible. Now I started on overdrive mode, but I wasn't able to hit over 300 even with 4x frame generation. I had to lower the settings to the non-ray tracing ultra preset to get frames over 360. The game capped me out at 400 FPS. I also noticed that the GeForce Now FPS counter showed something different. The stream FPS also went above 360 at times. Now here's the overall results of the default settings on Black Myth Wukong at 4K. Way higher than 120. This whole test was pretty amazing, so I'm going to leave this whole benchmark for another video, but this was a taste of the performance of the 5080s. And again, I'm going to have separate videos with benchmarks on other games very soon, including multiplayer games, so make sure you're subscribed for that. This will include showcasing the new cinematic quality streaming mode. Now for those wondering, all the cinematic quality streaming mode are these settings in the app. They have a dedicated preset called Cinematic. It consists of a max bitrate of 100 megabits per second, a 60 FPS frame rate, color quality at 10-bit 4x4x4, the AI video filter on auto, and the HUD sharpness filter on. You can set your settings to custom to play with these. Now please note that there is a new row in the GeForce Now app called GeForce RTX 5080 Ready. This will have a full list of RTX 5080 optimized games, which will be updated weekly with fresh additions, so I don't believe that all games will run on 5080s. We'll have to confirm this with more testing. The install to play functionality has launched as well, allowing you to install opted-in Steam games that have not been added to the core of GeForce Now. Ultimate members will get storage to install games. You'll have to pay an additional monthly fee for your games to be saved persistently on the cloud. I will have a separate getting started overview video on the install to play feature. This should allow more than 2,200 Steam games to be added to GeForce Now. But guys, a massive disclaimer, there are reasons why these games haven't been added yet. So make sure you watch my separate video to get that in-depth view on that. And lastly, let's go over the 5080 streaming requirements. GeForce Now requires at least 65 megabits per second for streaming up to 5K resolution at 120 FPS. At least 55 megabits per second for 1440p resolution at 240 FPS. And at least 48 megabits per second for 1080p at 360 FPS. Now please be aware that the 5K resolution NVIDIA is referring to is the ultra widescreen resolution. This is not the standard 16:9 widescreen. Why? Because there are no 16:9 5K resolution 120Hz monitors that exist. Let that sink in. Now here are the new hardware requirements for resolution and FPS. Windows 11 is recommended but not required. To get 5080 features, you'll need the latest app. Android clients, including the NVIDIA Shield TV, will get a subset of RTX 5080 features. Not sure exactly what that means. Now get this, browser, mobile, and TV clients are not currently supported. Ouch. Now there are various minimum requirements to hit 5K at different FPSs, but this is what you need to hit the highest 5K 120 FPS stream. For Mac, Apple Silicon M2 Pro or later. Windows, you'll need an Intel 10th generation processor or later, and you'll also need the GeForce 10 series or later GPU or an RDNA 3 series or later. For the cinematic quality streaming mode, you will need Windows 11, not Androids. You will need Windows and Windows 11. For Mac users, you're going to need the Apple Silicon systems from 2020 and above. You'll also need an Intel Tiger Lake processor or above, an NVIDIA Turing GPU, which is a 20 series, or later. And AMD is not even supported. No AMD GPUs. So it looks like our recommended mini PC we've always promoted is gonna have to change. So we have a lot to talk about in future videos here on the channel. So make sure you're subscribed to check out all of those videos soon. Also, let us know what you think about this upgrade in the comments below. If you like this news overview for GeForce Now, make sure to give us a like. If you're looking to get started with GeForce Now, the link is in the description. And make sure to subscribe at the only place where you can do battle in gaming heaven, Cloud Gaming Battle.